What is up, everybody? It's Malasteren here, Guildmaster of the Dragonhearts Guild, and we are here today to bring you our review of the new Star Wars Last Skywalker movie.
Rise of the Skywalker.
Rise of the Skywalker. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, right? I watch the movies, I enjoy them. I'm not lore heavy.
Yeah, I'm a nerd. I'm going to be honest.
It is 1:30 a.m. on December 20th. We just caught the December 19th, one of the first showings of it. We're going to do a quick little jump through of the whole movie. So this is your spoiler warning right now. If you haven't guessed it already based on the title this video will have, you've had 40 seconds to realize we're going to be talking about a movie you probably haven't seen. And if you want to shut it off, I'll give you 3 more seconds.
Hint, this is a spoiler movie.
Cool. So that's it. Since I'm not going to edit this, there's nothing popping up. I hope you had your volume on for this minute of this video. So we're going to start really quickly with all the major spoilers and plot points as fast as I can go. Leia dies. Chewie almost dies but doesn't really die. Kylo almost dies but doesn't really die. CP3O has all of his memory lost and then comes back only missing part of it. Luke shows up as a Force ghost. We get to see Han Solo show up not as a Force ghost, but just as a memory to Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren ends up being good. Kylo Ren is the last Skywalker. Rey claims the Skywalker name, and Rey is a Palpatine.
And Leia and Kylo become one with the Force, or they go Force ghost mode on it, and it's really stupid. And Leia had already died, but became a Force ghost like 2 days after she was already dead. Like a day or two.
Yeah, I mean, Luke does the same thing, kind of. It hasn't been super long. But, so, start of the movie, we see Rey training in the forest with Leia. Oh, by the way, Leia trained to be a Jedi.
And then she gave it up. But before that, we actually had, it opens with Kylo Ren massacring forest people who are never named, and we've never seen them before on some unknown planet, to look for a pyramid. This is a
waypoint finder.
Yeah, it's a waypoint finder thing that's going to show up and show you where to find the planet that Palpatine is hiding on. There's only 2 of them in all of existence in the galaxy. For whatever reason, the Sith only decided to make 2.
And it was written into the Jedi books found in the last movie, the information on the both of these, but one of them was being kept on the Death Star. So how was this written into these books about the locations of the both of them, where Kylo Ren was able to find one of them and a super cool dagger with a secret kind of sextant kind of in it to show you where on the Death Star this thing was hidden. Yeah. So the Sith make these 2 things to get to their planet. How Palpatine is alive, we're not entirely sure. They kind of pass it off as a dark side cloning kind of thing.
Yeah, and he's hooked up to like respirators, and he's on like he's clearly on life support. And he looks like he's dead for most of the film, and he's just kind of like a puppet talking.
Kind of like Vader when he first is getting fully suited up, and he's kind of hooked up to everything.
Yeah.
Kind of looks a little bit like that. Also, this planet he's on has, like, nothing on the planet. It's just flat, and all of the ships in the ground. Where he got the resources to build this, I have no idea.
And they just, like, they burst through ice.
They burst out of the ground.
For whatever reason, like they have the ability to burst through ice. And then also, the Knights of Ren are in this movie. But for whatever reason, we find out that even though Kylo Ren is a Knight of Ren, he's the only one that got a lightsaber. The other ones just got, like, pointy sticks and swords. And then they lost in a 6v1 against Kylo.
So we see, so let's just start from the beginning, because we see Kylo Ren searching for the waypoint finder to go find Palpatine on this planet, where we find out Palpatine is alive. He has kind of the old Senate building there, and what looks like all these guys in hoods that I'm just assuming are former Sith, based on how the end of the movie goes. And after that, Palpatine gives Kylo Ren the mission of he needs to kill Rey in order for him to take over what he calls the Final Order.
Which is like the huge fleet of ships.
All these ships that are going to destroy every planet in the universe if they don't submit to the will of the Emperor, which is still Palpatine now. We go back, we see Rey doing some training. She's being trained by Leia. After that, it's some back and forth. We see Poe, along with Finn and Chewie, get caught up in some stuff. And the Millennium Falcon that almost gets blown up. They eventually find on this party planet this dagger that's going to show them to the other waypoint finder that Rey wants to find. They find it on the Death Star. Rey fights Kylo. A whole bunch of stuff goes down. But you're going to see the movie, or you've already seen the movie, so you know the whole plot. So we're just going to complain about parts for the rest of this, because I probably need to see the movie again if I want to go through what the whole plot was, because much like Infinity Wars, there was a lot of bouncing around between plots.
But worse bouncing around, because some of the stuff didn't even make sense.
Yeah, you can tell with all the scenes Leia was in, because it was announced all of the scenes with her in it were previously shot scenes that weren't used, that were going to be used here. You could tell really obviously any scene Leia was in, the whole shot was done over whatever I guess maybe the original footage was, but it was all done around Leia's lines and what was going on, to where she didn't really belong there, and the end for her character I wouldn't say was very good. She pretty much uses her last breath, knowing she's going to die from using this, to connect with Kylo Ren via the Force, to say his name, causing him to stutter, giving Rey time to stab him. Oh, by the way, Rey can heal people with the Force now.
Yeah, which, like, that's never been shown before by anyone else, but for whatever reason, she has it.
She can move some of her life force into someone else and bring him back. Kylo uses it to bring her back from the dead instead of just healing a wound. But Leia uses her last breath to connect with Ben, says his name as Ben, causes him to stutter. Rey stabs him. Rey realizes Leia's just now died, using all of her power to say his name. But maybe it wasn't just that. Maybe it was also her using her power to cause a vision of Han Solo. Rey leaves off in Kylo's ship to go to Palpatine's planet. And we get this lovely scene where Han Solo shows up and talks with Ben. He is Ben at this point again. Kylo Ren is dead. And it's kind of the same scene as when Han Solo died on the bridge, except without him dying, and instead of Kylo Ren stabbing him with his lightsaber, Ben throws the lightsaber away. I'm assuming destroying that one permanently on the planet they were on.
Yeah, it just gets lost in this gigantic sea, so even if it isn't destroyed, they're never going to find it again. And also, this now dead vision of Han, for whatever reason, knew that Leia had died, which was kind of weird. Now
I think it was Leia making herself look like Han.
Alright.
I'd call it a long shot, but like it could have happened maybe. And I wouldn't pass it off. I wouldn't not pass it off as that how it goes.
Speaking of things that we didn't even talk about, but Emperor Snoke, or not Emperor Snoke, Supreme Leader Snoke. Turns out he was a clone. Like he was basically like an incubator baby that Palpatine had set up.
Yeah.
Because when you look at him, they had two versions of Snoke in this sort of like this hyperbolic chamber. Which
makes sense for how bad of a villain Snoke was, that he came from a test tube.
Yeah, and the fact that he was like so disposable too.
And they just made more.
So like they're literally calling Snoke a test tube baby. Like,
I'm calling Snoke a test tube baby.
I don't know exactly how offended test tube baby should feel at that.
We get to see Lando show up.
He does nothing.
He brings backup with Chewie in the Millennium Falcon.
He gets two lines.
Nice. He had a couple more than 2 lines.
He gets 5 lines.
He shows up. He does some talking. He shows back up when Leia dies. Does some talking. Poe is made general. Of the fleet. He then also makes Finn a general. I'm assuming Rey gets to be a general. I would hope so. They don't strip anyone of their titles. At the very end, no, I want to say that one yet. Palpatine calls Ben the last Skywalker and throws him off a cliff, and you think he dies, but he comes back. Rey wields both. Rey goes back to the planet Luke was hiding out on, sees Luke's Force Ghost. They talk for a bit. Luke shows her where Leia's lightsaber was hidden and gives it to Rey to use. Force Ghost Luke
catches a lightsaber that was gonna be.
I wasn't gonna go there. Oh yeah, that was nice. Raises the X-wing, his X-wing, which I was very happy to see. So Rey can fly it wearing his helmet. Very nice callback there to that. You knew it had to be there. He didn't destroy it. Rey finally taps into all of the former Jedi as Palpatine taps into all the former Sith. And much like Endgame, we get, I am all the Sith, and Rey replies with, and I am all the Jedi, before she kills Palpatine. So that's going to be a thing now. The famous villain says, I am, big monologue kind of thing. Good guy goes, I am, and kills. It's going to be a thing now. I like it, but
it's not as good as Endgame.
Like it. Yeah, you can't. We know what it's from. Well, we know what you're doing. But we do get to hear all of the former Jedi Masters kind of talk to Rey. We get to hear Yoda, and we hear Luke, and
we hear Anakin, who was actually reprised by Hayden Christensen. Liam Neeson reprising Qui-Gon Jinn, Samuel Jackson reprising his role as Mace Windu.
Or they just used old lines.
Yeah.
But you get to hear all of them, which was nice.
Yeah. Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan Kenobi's there, and for fans of the Clone Wars series, even Ahsoka was in there too. So yeah, a lot of Jedi.
For that scene, if you have seen the movie, if you haven't, you should have stopped watching by now. I would have liked them to Deathly Hallows it, where you get to see all of the Force ghosts appear behind Rey. Would have been very nice. Rey kills Palpatine. Palpatine wanted Rey to kill him, so I guess the Sith spirit flows, and since he's all the Sith, if Rey had killed him out of anger, all the Sith would have flown into her, was what he wanted originally. Rey's parents were in fact nobodies, because that's who they wanted to be. They wanted to stay nobodies to hide from Palpatine. I guess he had some brother or sister, and that is how Rey is his granddaughter. The same way Vader had Luke and Leia had Ben, and that's how Ben is Vader's grandson. They are both, Ben and Rey are Force users. They both are technically Jedi, I would say, at the end.
Yeah.
The same way Vader turned good, Kylo Ren turned good, and we get to see some cool stuff with when they're melding together, and one of them can hold something, the other one can take it. We get to see Rey sneak him a lightsaber.
We didn't even talk about that, actually. So the Force has a new use to where if you see something in the Force, I think
it's because Palpatine said they were connected, and it hadn't happened where two Force users were connected like that
in several centuries. But basically, you can teleport things with the Force from planet to planet
if you're connected.
Yeah, it's a stretch. It's definitely a stretch.
I don't think it's gonna happen again. I think it'll be something rare that was just between the two of them.
I don't like it. I just don't like it. No matter what.
One thing we didn't talk about, and they didn't finish in the movie, as Rey and Poe and Finn and everyone are getting sucked into some quicksand. Finn goes to tell Rey something, and he goes, I never told you. They get sucked down. It gets brought up a couple times. Hey, what were you going to tell Rey? Finn never told Rey, and we don't know what it is. I'm assuming it was I'm in love with you.
Yeah, it's heavily alluded to that it's Finn telling Rey that he has strong feelings for her.
But Rey does make out with Ben.
So it confirms Reylo. Reylo is a thing. Unfortunately, Kylo dies right after they get one kiss, so that was the shortest lived relationship since my first one in high school.
He probably wouldn't have died if he would have let Rey stay dead, but he suddenly learned how to heal and brought Rey back to life, so she didn't die. The end of the movie, we get to see Rey return to Tatooine, back to Luke's original home on the farm. It's been filled in with sand. I don't know why someone hadn't taken over the farm already. It's been a very long time.
Yeah, it's been 40 years.
More than 40 years.
No, because that was Luke as a kid. You're right. So it's been around 60 years since anyone inhabited that farm. But for whatever reason, that little small hut on Tatooine was still abandoned.
And just filled with sand. Rey covers Luke's lightsaber and Leia's lightsaber, and she forces it down into the sand to bury it. And then this old woman kind of shows up and asks what Rey's doing there. And earlier in the movie on this party planet, Rey had gotten asked her name, and she said it was Rey. And in another language, CPO translates, she would like to know what your family name is, and she says, I don't have one, I'm just Rey. And here at the end, when this old woman asks what Rey's family name is, off to the side, the Force ghosts of Luke and Leia show up and kind of just nod their head like, yes, you can do it. And Rey replies with, I'm Rey Skywalker. So she's claimed the Skywalker name. And although Kylo Ren, Ben at this point now, is the last Skywalker, I guess by technicality, Rey is the last living Skywalker, even though she has no Skywalker blood, and in fact has Palpatine blood. I would have preferred my original thought line and theory that she was a Kenobi. I thought that would have been awesome. But it didn't happen. She's a Palpatine. And the most troubling thing about this movie, the most thing I'm really eked about, Leia dies, they go fight this war, they save the world, they save the galaxy, whatever they're going to do in the next trilogy, I don't know. But the lady from the first movie who had Luke's lightsaber, the orange chick with the back.
Yeah.
She had Luke, she had Luke's in the first movie.
Yeah.
She comes up to Chewie, and I guess Leia left this for Chewie, but only to be given to him after she had died, that she's been holding on to for probably 40 years, maybe 30 to 40 years, I don't know the timeline, holds up Chewie's medal. Chewie got a medal the whole time, and for some reason, back at the end of the fourth movie, Leia decided not to give Chewie the medal, and held on to it for 30 to 40 years, and now gave it to him. Why, I don't know. Why Disney and Lucasfilms decided to bring up this sore subject. I would have preferred you left that plot hole as a plot hole. You've just raised more questions. Why did Leia still have it? Why didn't she give it to him sooner? Much like how if you watch in Disney Plus, if you go back to the fourth movie, Han doesn't shoot first. They changed Han shooting first again. Did you hear about that?
No, I didn't actually.
I didn't watch it, but I read it. They changed it. Like, they really made it, like, slowed it down again so you can't really tell who did it first again. God. But I think you clearly hear Han say something first now instead of, I can't remember his name.
Greedo?
Instead of, and Greedo says something too, that they were arguing and now you can't really tell again. We all know Han shot first. Disney, just give us back the original cut. We were all okay.
We already know it, and no one
We
cares.
know Han, at that time, Han was willing to do it. We saw Han Solo's movie. We know he'd be willing to shoot first. Just give it back to us. All in all, I would agree with most of the critics. The movie was okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't amazing.
It wasn't bad. For those of you that watched The Force Awakens and were disappointed with it, but liked The Last Jedi, you'll probably like this one. I'd say it's around a 7. Oh, we didn't even get to like some of the other nitpicks. So we forgot to mention, but at the end of the film, Rey also holds up a third lightsaber.
She clearly made herself. This is hers.
Yeah, and it goes orange or like a whitish orange, and what that represents is it's a balance in the Force. If you guys know like the extended lore, it means that she's neither a Sith nor Jedi now. She's just one with the Force. And
Rey almost killed Chewie by using Force lightning.
Oh
by accident.
God. Oh my god. Yeah, she used Force lightning by accident too. There was something I was gonna. Oh, right, this is what I was gonna bring up. So, for guys that watched The Last Jedi, remember that chick with the purple hair, like the purple pinkish hair, the commander besides Leia?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was never in the movie. We don't know what happened to her. She did not die at the end of Last Jedi.
Maybe she died in between, and they just didn't want to mention it, or the actor didn't want to come back.
Yeah, no, I'm assuming the actress didn't want to come back, because the thing is that like they never even mention off screen that they lost it, because like she would have actually been next in command besides Leia.
Oh, upon Leia's death, she does leave Poe. I don't know if I already said it. Does leave Poe in command as general. Yeah. It was Leia's last wish he become general.
Yeah. But pink-haired chick, she's completely gone, never mentioned again.
We get to see a couple people show back up from the old movies that I can't name. They were just like quick one-off. Hey, look, we showed you across the screen to show you came back.
Oh, yeah. So what he's talking about is they have some old rebel admirals from the original trilogy, from Return of the Jedi, that return, but like they're not Admiral Akbar, so because he's dead, you're not gonna really know them. But it's old guys that helped beat back on the second Death Star. That's
pretty much the movie. So yeah, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. It was okay. Would I watch it again? Yes. Would I pay to go see it again in a movie theater? Probably not. Very rarely will I go see a movie twice in theaters, unless, of course, it was Infinity War, because due to personal obligations, I had to see it 3 times in a week. But yeah, it was a very good movie. I would watch it again at home. I will definitely probably buy it on DVD. Once again, it is just now made watching every single Star Wars movie in a day very much more impossible. To sit through 9 movies and a prequel,
all 2.5 hours each,
and then a prequel that sits in between Rogue One and then Han Solo's movie,
and then the Han Solo side story, which is set before Rogue One.
So now you can watch the movie in a very confusing chronological order of release and a very confusing chronological order of when everything takes place. So yeah,
That's
it was a good movie. If spoiler warnings aside now, because clearly you've watched the whole video, don't spoil it for anyone that doesn't want to see it. But if you do feel like trying to be a funny spoiler, much like I did at the end of the first movie, a couple months later, in every game, you can just say, hey, everybody remember, in Star Wars, Darth Vader is Luke's father, and Han Solo dies. Anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, so I think you pretty much covered everything.
Cool.
Just remember, I am all the Sith, and I am all the Jedi.
And I am Iron Man.
And I am inevitable.
It is inevitable. Thank you all for watching. Once again, I am the Guild Master of the Dragon Hearts Guild, Malasteren. This is my lovely friend Jackson. Thank you for joining us in what is now the second in-car outside of the movie theater movie review. I like these much more than getting home and doing it on Discord, because you get to see us sitting in the car.
And also, most of the movie's still fresh in our heads.
I actually got a new camera. I meant to charge it and grab it and was going to set it here and it's got a mic on it. Totally. I got it last year. I've never used it. I meant to use it for vlogging.
We'll do it again. We'll see another movie again.
Or I'll actually bring a camera and vlog as I actually do shit. But enough of that aside. Thank you all for watching. Remember, down below in the description, you can find links to all of the stuff of all of we do here at the Dragon Hearts Guild. We have our website, dragonheartsguild.weebly.com. You can also find us on YouTube under the Dragon Hearts Guild, on Twitter as th_THG_. I can't remember the Twitter handle. You can find us on Twitter. All the links will be down below. If you can get to our website, there's links to everything there. We also recently, as an update, got affiliated on Twitch as Dragon Hearts Guild, so you could join me, and if I ever sometimes bring other people on the stream to play games, play a variety of games from World of Warcraft to Overwatch, GTA, COD. If there's a game I own and I can make it stream well, I'll stream it. And if you want to join in, you can always hit us up on Twitter or on Facebook, on Instagram, on our website. I've never tested the email there. Message me on Twitter. I check Twitter a lot. We talk about D&D, we play video games, we do fun shit. Drop a like, hit that subscribe button. I will catch you all next time. Peace out.
And happy holidays.